Gentlemen, welcome to Fight Club.
Fight! Fight!
All right, coming up next, it's a UFC heavyweight showdown. All right, well, I'm excited for this one. This is a kickboxer of the highest order. He has so many different kicks and punches in his arsenal and figures to try to keep this on the feet here tonight.
The beautiful thing that he does is he throws that front push kick to create distance when a guy starts to get too close and wants to wrestle with him. He throws it, and the moment you're back at his range, he starts to blast high kicks. He doesn't always intend on landing him, but he beats up your arms with high kick after high kick after high kick. And as you get desperate, you start to run into knees, and he does not need much space to land a knockout punch. This guy is one of the best strikers you've ever seen in the UFC.
And if you don't find the striking range early against this guy, you could be in real trouble. I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. Enter Bruce Lee.
I mean, that's Bruce Lee in a nutshell. Over and over and over, he did the same thing, and it shows in the technique because there's no wasted energy. There's no wasted movements. Everything he does with a purpose. He goes in there with an idea of what he's trying to accomplish, and he gets it done. Bruce Lee is the absolute best. Bruce Lee is the man.
His grappling, his takedown defense figure to be tested here tonight. But there aren't that many guys who are going to want to stand and trade on a napkin in the center of the octagon with the great Bruce Lee.
No, if you're fighting Bruce Lee, you're shooting for takedowns right away.
And now our tale of the tape for this heavyweight fight. So a more than 5-year gap between these two fighters when it comes to the age, with some differences in height and a similar reach. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the octagon, Dan Bergliata. And now, this is the moment UFC fans around the world have been waiting for. Live from the sold-out Bell Center in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. It's time! 5 rounds in the UFC heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a kickboxer, making his professional debut here tonight. He stands 6 feet tall, weighing in at 163 pounds. Fighting out of Stockton, California, Bazooka. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a mixed martial artist, making his professional debut here tonight. He stands 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing in at 145 pounds. Fighting out of Los Angeles, California, Bruce the Dragon Lee.
All right, commit to the rules of the locker room. I want you to obey my commands at all times, protect yourself at all times. I want a nice, clean, safe fight. Touch gloves, back your corners, not fight.
You ready? You ready?
All right, so lofty expectations for this matchup as round 1 gets underway. Seems to be a striking advantage on one side, but on the other, truly a fighter who can do it all.
And that guy will usually have the advantage on paper. When you're a striker, at this guy's level, that will normally balance out whatever advantage the other guy has.
Well, perhaps a sign of things to come as he lands a kick there.
Nice kick landed by this gentleman. Nice punch lands over the top. There's no tell on that leg kick.
Well, that left hand has been there at times, not on that attempt.
Look at him whip his hip into that kick. Very tricky when he throws that that body.
Oh, beautiful strike there as he lands up top, and he does so right after catching the leg. So maybe you thought he would catch the leg and go for a takedown. Instead, he goes for the punch, and he certainly found the range on that one. Massive head kick. Lee's head kick looked like that one was blocked.
You don't really stand after you take a head kick like this. That is such tough to even be on his feet right now. He got it back!
Making all these shots count. Oh, and he's able to land a strike there from the bottom. Nicely done by Lee. Back to his feet.
Big, powerful punch lands. Now he gets back to range. Big head kick lands.
Oh, perfect head kick there. Just over 3 minutes to go, round one.
Keep your hands up for me. Come on now. Let's move. Let's recompose.
Ooh, found a home for that knee. Good defense to block the strike coming back. And now they are throwing both sides with conviction. And he landed the right hand there.
Big punch lands over the top. How's he gonna follow this one up?
Oh, collar tie. Oh, massive head kick there. We'll see if he can finish. Big knee to the body.
That one was thrown to end the fight.
Yep. Mixes it up nicely in terms of staying heavy and also staying active.
Beautiful body kick.
Trying to establish that jab once again.
Nice moving punch.
Oh! Knee to the body. Oh, straight right. Right hook to the head block. Well, if you're going to leave your body that wide open, you're going to pay the price, and he certainly did there as his opponent lands flush to the midsection.
That was lightning fast, that right hand. Oh, big punch land.
Man, his counters are on point tonight. The jab is good.
He loaded up there on that high kick. I mean, look at the commitment to kicking in this fight.
Oh, he lands another strike to the body, really starting to connect on a lot of shots to the midsection, and these will take their toll as this fight goes into the latter rounds.
Nice punch there.
Follows it up with a nice combination. Oh, single collar tie here. Continues to mix it up, going to the head, mixing in some body shots.
Leg kick.
Still unable to find that precise range with the high kick.
Real sneaky head kick gets in there.
Able to check that kick as well. And he caught the kick. We'll see what he can do with it. Just out of range with that left hook.
What a punch. You take more of these leg kicks, you will not be able to be very active on your feet.
Right on the button. Oh, and he counters with a straight left. That landed flush.
Nice leg kick. Oh, nice.
5 minutes in the books. All right, so the round is over, and the cut on the bridge of his nose continuing to be a factor. You thought maybe it was getting better, not so much. Blood trickling down, and when the blood starts to trickle down into the mouth and upset the breathing pattern, that's when it starts to really become a factor. All right, so a big knockdown for him, courtesy of that punch in that round. DC, here's a replay.
Big moment in the previous round. They were both fighting very well, but when he landed this punch right here that sits his opponent down, it showed that the power is not equal, and if he can land, he does have the ability to damage it.
Let's go, guys, fight.
Beautiful strike. Ooh, head kick lands, he's hurt.
So he's really starting to put together some significant body shots here. These are going to take their toll as this fight goes on. And that one certainly found the target. Block that kick to the body.
Way to hide that leg kick. Ooh, what a punch.
Oh, and he caught the kick.
Look at the whip action that comes from him throwing that kick.
Oh! All right, he'll engage in a single collar tie. Lee going for the head kick. He misses there. All right, well, he's landed some good shots tonight, but there's no three-piece, there's no soda. More often than not, it's one and done.
He's not even getting a combination. I mean, if you're gonna sit there at the drive-thru, order a combination, take the soda with your food, give him the right hand behind the jab, give him the hook behind the right hand. Jab, right hand, hook, that's 2 pieces of chicken and a biscuit. Finish him off with the uppercut. That is your soda. I mean, come on, man, let this guy have the whole thing.
Oh, man, that could have felt good. Flush knee lands to the body by the taller fighter.
Look at him drive his chin into his opponent's body with that body kick. Nice straight punch.
3 minutes remain in the round. Well, he has really picked up the pace here in round 2. Much more aggressive than we saw in round 1, and now starting to find himself in the pocket. And they separate.
Big leg kick lands.
Oh, counters with a beautiful left hand. Lee gets caught with that punch. His chin is held up thus far. Got to shore up the defense here, though.
Nice right hand.
Oh, crisp boxing here. The right punch followed immediately up by a left. Well, one got through. That kick was blocked. Well, it's one thing to have length. It's another thing to use it, and he does it as well as anyone. Nice kick there by Lee. Oh, continuing to work the body to great effect.
Look at him yank the head and land that beautiful punch from the clinch.
How's his opponent still standing?
I mean, I have no idea. This fight is supposed to be over. It might not be over now, but it's going to be over very soon. There's no give on that leg kick. Good punch.
Wow, huge head kick. Oh!
Look at how he turns his hip into that leg kick.
Blocks the shot. Oh! Head kick.
That is, oh man, this dude is good. He went high on that one.
All right, so a good series of kicks by him there. He has mixed it up beautifully, I think, on the feet tonight.
He is kicking everywhere tonight. He's doing a fantastic job.
Lee's shot is blocked. Oh, he continues to land a high number of strikes in this round. Really hasn't let up when it comes to his aggressiveness. Certainly have to be mindful that you don't gas out, but you gotta like the output on display here. Lee gets caught with that punch. He'd be wise to get those hands up. "30 seconds to go in the round. Pretty good right hand.
Look at him working at trying to shut the liver down.
Ooh. Head kick attempt, but the fighter got the right hand up.
Big kick lands.
And that's the end of round number 2. All right, so an entertaining 5 minutes. Let's look back at some of the highlights, DC, and I'd imagine a lot of these replays are going to be rooted in that kicking game that was on full display.
Absolutely. You're going to see a lot of different techniques, but the kicking was the key to him getting ahead in this fight. He's out ahead now. He needs to stay the course and continue to do that as the fight goes on.
You're fine. It's just a little blood. You've been here before. You've been cut. No worries.
All right, so here we go with our next round, and there was a lot for him to like defensively in the previous round, almost as if he's 1 or 2 steps ahead of his opponent in terms of seeing the strike before it came his way.
He did a great job of moving his head as his opponent was attacking. But then when his opponent tried to string combinations together, it was his block defense that was really saving the day for him.
Nice defense there, huge block. Oh, and he lands another knee there, DC. It doesn't always pay to be the taller fighter. In this instance, it most certainly did. Well, just as he did in the previous round, continuing to land a high number of strikes here, and he hasn't really showed any signs of slowing down. Scary, scary proposition for the opponent.
Beautiful punch.
And they separate. All right, so he lands another punch there, and he smells blood in the water, going right back at that cut.
Absolutely. The opponent has a lot of scar tissue around the eyes. He was able to cut it open, and now he's just touching it over and over again.
Oh, man. You jumped out of your seat a little bit after that kick.
Oh, I did, because I have time where I've been kicked like that. And I'm going to tell you one thing. It does not feel good.
Offensive fight. Nice job to block the shot there.
Punches and bunches, punches and bunches. Let's go.
Big head kick. Yes, that you heard him in the last round. Same exact one.
Oh, good opportunity to do damage here. He's got that tie clinch.
Punch over the top.
Just over 3 minutes to go in round 3. Oh! Massive kick to the head.
He's giving him so many different things right now. What a fantastic strike to throw at the exact right moment. He deserves this moment. Go finish his fight. Nice punch lands over the top.
Well, this is exactly the sense of urgency you're looking for. Try to take the judges out of it. He is lighting them up now.
Big leg kick lands.
Mixes it up nicely in terms of staying heavy and also staying active. Oh, bone on bone, shin slash foot, right to the skull. You see why I'm a commentator and not a fighter? You see why?
Yeah, those aren't fun. I'm telling you, man, you get kicked in the head.
Over the top. This fight's gonna be over this.
What a great way of mixing up his attack. He didn't stay the course. He mixed it up. He went high when his opponent thought he was going low, and now he's got him hurt very badly. In the clinch. Big body punch, digging his entire hip into every single strike.
Oh, straight right.
Nice body.
Lee gets the tie clinch here. Strong defense there to block the shot. Nice instance. Oh!
Dude's hurt. Serve him up. Go get him.
Big knee to the body.
You don't know when that leg kick's coming.
Oh!
Oh, he's hurt bad. He's hurt bad, John. He's got to press him. He's got to go chase that finish down now. Caught that kick there.
Ooh, now he's got the tie plumb, Daniel. If you're on the other side, what are you trying to do to get out of this potentially dangerous position?
You got to start digging your shoulder to a side and then trying to shove an underhook. You cannot bend down to try to get out of Muay Thai clinch. Great punch landed with so much power. Nice leg kick land.
Lands flush with that right hand. Oh, that's gonna soften him up. Massive knee to the body. "20 seconds now remain in the round."
Nice, sneaky head kick.
Oh! Oh! Well done to catch the kick. We'll see what he can do with it.
Yes.
How about those 5 minutes? All right, so there's the end of the round. The cut on his lip is only getting worse. We've kept an eye on it tonight. The cut man is going to have to do some work here to try to prevent that from becoming more of a factor here in this next round. All right, so a huge round for him there. Nearly had him out of there with the head kick. Did get the knockdown. Talk us through the replay.
He got the knockdown. He won the round. He did everything correct. The only thing he didn't do is finish the fight. But if he continues down the path, if he continues to do the exact same thing as he did before, he will get that finish.
All right, next round is underway, and if you look at these two guys in between rounds, it looks like they've barely broken a sweat. Both with good resting heart rates, stamina still very high, and you just have to laud the efforts of these guys in training. Both men certainly noted cardio specialists, but incredible that they would have this much in the tank after 10-plus minutes of fighting. Well, most fighters can't keep up this type of aggression and pace, but you don't have to worry about this guy. He hasn't really showed any signs of slowing down tonight. Just missed with the leg kick. Nice punch there by Lee. He blocks the punch.
I mean, he's cutting them down to size with these beautiful leg kicks. Big kick lands.
Gets caught with that punch. Gotta shore up the defense here. Right hand upstairs. Strong defense here as the hook to the head is blocked. Counter jab, snaps the head back. That'll get his attention.
Big kick.
Trying to inflict some damage here, but misses with the kick.
Over and over, he's landing these big body kicks.
And both guys really throwing with authority. And he lands a punch there. Pretty good connection by him.
Great connection. He's in a great flow right now. Head kick.
Pretty good kicks there by Lee. Huge block there. Tried to go to the body, but unable to connect. And they separate.
Nice kick.
Man, how good is his right hook counter? Continues to mix it up, going to the head, mixing in some body shots. That one appeared to stun him.
He's in trouble. He's hurt bad. Now he's on top of him looking for the finish.
All right, well, both fighters pretty comfortable on the ground, DC, but you got to be very careful hanging out here for too long if you're his opponent. Oh, the ground and pound is there. Pretty significant welt to the left side. Oh, wow, that happened quickly as the fighter reverses position there on the ground.
Unbelievable position change. Wow, what a transition.
Well, there are few things more fun to watch in mixed martial arts than these type of transitions and scrambles on the ground.
High-level grappling can really be entertaining.
All right, so you got to be careful playing on the ground with this guy. You don't want to mess around for too long. Oh, and he escapes up to his feet. Very nice. "90 seconds to go."
Nice.
Oh, he lands the Superman punch. Both fighters throwing heat now. All right, so a nice job there defensively to raise the guard and prevent it.
He needs to start looking to finish now because he's got his opponent hurt very bad.
Big diving punch lands. All right, bottom fighter here, maybe looking to hip escape, DC. Oh, he's got the ground and pound going now. Close guard. Well, not ideal to spend this much time on the bottom, but you can't fault him for his activity. Landing strikes here from the bottom. Nice work by Lee. All right, feet on the hips here. Well, anytime you are in a ground fighting situation with this fighter, you're potentially playing with fire.
Good right hand right there.
Working off of his back here. Looks like he may try to hip escape. All right, close guard now. Well, this is a tough fighter to buck off. Very good pressure and work here by Lee. Keeping busy here off of his back. Nice offense from the bottom. Shot to the body now, blocked by Lee. All right, a lot of high-level striking action in that last round. Daniel, take us through it, if you would.
Tit for tat. Who has the best chin? It seemed as though they were looking for that answer. Both guys took risk. What a fantastic round.
Recover. You lost that last round. You're losing the fight. We have 5 minutes to get this victory.
Fifth and final round, forthcoming.
He's throwing every part of himself into these big leg kicks.
Wow!
What a fantastic strike to throw at the exact right moment. He deserves this one. Go finish his fight.
Oh! Much improved defensively as he blocks the shot. Splits the guard, lands the right hand. Just misses there with the left.
That's a big strike right there.
Mixes it up nicely in terms of staying heavy and also staying active. Got the single collar tie.
Look at how he turns.
Well, he gets up again here, but he looks hurt. Try to establish that jab.
Look at him chopping the wood. Chop the wood with those legs.
Splits the guard and connects with the punch. Just out of range with that right hand. Throws the right hand there.
You gotta check these low leg kicks. Caught that. Now there's danger in that too, because when you start reaching out to catch that kick, here comes the high kick, and then you're in a lot of trouble. Nice kick. Look at the force behind that leg kick.
3 minutes now to go in the fight. And there comes the separation now. Lee's hook to the body there is blocked. Shot looked pretty good, but ultimately the defense was there.
Oh, that's a nice strike.
Man, DC, his hands look good. A lot of volume, a lot of accuracy tonight.
He's doing a great job being accurate, but he's also very fast. Look at the hand speed.
Right. All right, Leighton. There as he lands, and maybe time to get the bonus checks ready.
I mean, this fight is about done. He's got him hurt very bad with his head kick. Now he has to find one more strike to end the night.
Oh, knee strike right to the body. Oh, straight right.
Big kick land. Stopped the fight. A great and a great performance by this young man.
Well, he's going to enjoy watching this one back. Let's take a look at the replay of the knockout just a moment ago.
It was right hand after right hand after right hand. Finally, he found the one that hit the exact sweet spot that ended his opponent's night.
We go back inside the octagon for the official decision. It resides with Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Dan Bergliata calls a stop to this contest at 3 minutes, 2 seconds of round number 5. Declaring the winner by knockout, Bazooka!
Oh, there he is after a huge knockout win tonight. You going to the after party or what?
I mean, I'm heading over there right now, John. I'm asking the producers, how soon can I get up? Because it's going to be a party over there. Not only because of the knockout, but that extra bonus check he's going to be carrying to the club tonight.